Hi, I'm Lamborghini C and welcome back to my channel. So I wanted to touch on something today. I wanted to talk about operating in your destiny or operating in your anointing in the business world, in what it is that you've been ordained to do, or in your gift that you've been given to be able to contribute to the world in the marketplace. I think that for many of us in the US especially, I think for many years we have been taught and it's been ingrained in us that we need to have separation between um, you know, church and state, right? And work and state, and to not mesh the two together. I will tell you, especially over the last few years, as I've grown as an entrepreneur, as I have expanded my network of entrepreneurs, like people that are truly in the trenches, one of the things that I have noticed that is a common theme, and again, I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge the fact that you attract who you are. So, some of the people that I am networking with or attracting, we do have similar characteristics, or we have maybe similar, thoughts of mind or ways that we may approach life. So those that I have been drawn to, or they've been drawn to me, that are in that entrepreneurial space, we have a common theme. There definitely is a power greater than ourselves that we know and understand is the reason for our success, that we lean on to help us keep going, right? And I can tell you that, for me, I wouldn't want it any other way because, God has been my best business partner, from every move that I've made, from who I hire to who I let go, to who I do business with, to the opportunities that he brings into, in front of me to be able to partner with or to do business with, from the perspective of industries, right, that I need to connect with or do business with during certain time periods. Again, others that may be looking at this or viewing it from the outside through their lens, they may be saying like, wow, that's very strategic that you built your business plan that way, or that's strategic that you're working with these companies in this particular industry, right? Because like right now we know that automotive's going through some transitions, manufacturing is experiencing some pains, the tech industry, has gone through its pains, and may, be kind of experiencing a few more here in the future, right? And so, ideally, if you are going out and obtaining new clientele, depending on what your service or your goods are, you may or may not want to jump into that realm, like right, in this time period. That's really for you to weigh. But again, like for a lot of us, for myself, you know like it's hard to determine like what the best course of action is, like again, how you should maneuver and move or position yourself. But I will tell you that one of my guiding forces has been, because of the power higher than myself that I believe in, my relationship with God, and really leaning on him to really guide and lead me, or in some cases bring individuals that I need to work with and interact with my way, so that we can engage and, again, in some respects, create history, right? And so like last week I was here in my office and working away, and I was, again, it was one of those days where, well, actually the whole week I was battling some sort of cold or something that was going on, and I was tired, but I had to push through it. And I remember being down here and being so cold and tired and just, trying to get through the work that I had to do. and then it's like something just kind of came over me, a burst of energy. And that happens often for me. And again, I've come to know that it's not me, it's not the strength that's in me, but I know that it's the power that's within me that allows me to be able to push through in those crucial moments, to have like a greater clarity of thought or mind. Even sometimes that clarity or thought of mind is around like who I need to delegate to, right? And to be able to get things done in a timely fashion and to meet our deadlines. And so I think that more of us need to, as we continue on, as we push through, we're getting ready to enter into the last 2 months of 2023. And what a year 2023 has been. My goodness. There has been so much transition for a lot of people, for myself, individually, personally, from a business perspective. I've learned more about myself than I ever thought that I could. I've grown strides, more than, what I thought that I could. I've been forced to make hard decisions. I've been forced to learn how to step back and to release. I've been forced to learn how to let go and to delegate. And, it has all worked out for my good and for the good of my business. We've been able to grow. We've been able to expand. More importantly, we're able to provide service of excellence to our clients. And that makes me happy, and that also makes my staff members happy, right? And so, that's what we're in it for. We're in it to win this thing. We're in it to partner with great people and with great minds. And like I said, truly, in some respects, we're giving the opportunity to be able to help them with their dreams and to be able to help create history and to touch other people's lives. And there's no greater reward than that you can come across. And again, that comes from being able to make sure that you are like following the right strategy and the right path for you, which may be different from someone else. It may be different from another consulting firm or consulting business. And I come as an encouragement because I know and I understand. Like I get calls and people reaching out, whether social media or or calling, my business line or what have you, or even like personal line, where folks kind of just want to do a check-in and they want to see how things are going. And sometimes that's because things aren't really going so well in their world. Things may not be going so well in the industry that they're in, and they're kind of worried, and they want, kind of to use you as a frame of reference or to gauge, how things are truly going, from your perspective. And, I just want to caution you, or I don't know if it's caution, but bring awareness again. For those of you that are truly operating in your anointing, those of you that, truly are hearing from God and really, taking the time to make sure that you are ordering your steps as He, like kind of tells you. I think it's going to be so important that you make sure that you, in this season, separate yourself and just know that their story is not your story. Don't feel the temptation to, sometimes someone comes to us with a sob story, and it's easy for us to feel the temptation or the need to comfort them by ways of relating. So they may come to you with these sad stories of, that their job is, they're hearing of layoffs on their jobs. And, some people, the way that they handle those things or the way that they react is they begin to get into agreement. And I'm here to discourage you from doing that, because again, their story may not be your story. And you don't want to set yourself up in a position where you are coming into an agreement with negativity, where you are coming into agreement with scarcity. You might meet somebody for whom their conversation is, business has been down for them, or they've been seeing a decrease in business or an increase in, their cost to do business, and they just, it's just tightening their budget. Well, if that's not your story, and that should not be your story, again, if you're operating in your destiny, and and again, you're really leaning on God to really show and direct you where to go and what moves to make, that's not going to be your story. So don't fall into the temptation of getting into agreement with that negative speak, with that negative talk, and setting yourself up to experience those things. Because if you're not careful, you will look down the road and you will say, wait a minute, what happened? Like things were going so good for us. And so I want to encourage you and to impress upon you to, again, continue to, operate in your destiny, continue to operate in your anointing. Again, your story may not be the next person's story. And that's for them to walk out and for them to live out. And the way that you truly know that you are operating on that path is the things that used to be hard or that would be hard for others, they come easy to you. And there's no real explanation that would be able to come up with to be able to explain it. And if as you're maturing, you may have to begin to train yourself to just when people give you compliments, when people approach you in amazement, like, wow, like, thank you so much, like, you've been such a great help to us, like, how did you do that so fast? Like, I didn't think that we would ever be able to fill those positions, not this quick. Like, where'd you find these people? I have started to tell people it's divine intervention, because literally and figuratively it is. Like, that is the only explanation, like, for some of the things that have been occurring over the course of the past few months. And I know that as we go into the last 2 months of the year, like, those things are going to begin to happen exponentially. Those same experiences are going to begin to happen even faster, right? The various connections that will occur, that will be able to cut out the middle people, things that would naturally should take 6 months, 4 or 5 months, or even a year to acquire or to produce. I know that they can happen in a month or two time, right? And so, I encourage you to hold on to that. I encourage you to, really seek, again, what your path is. Don't get tempted to veer off path because you're trying to follow someone else. Make sure that you take the time, sit and meditate. Make sure that you really hear, that you really, open up your sight so that you can really see the vision, for you and for your life, and not to get swayed by the next new trend that's going on, the next thing that's happening, because you don't want to find yourself in a predicament where you're hopping from thing to thing, to person, from group to group. It's going to be imperative as you kind of close out the end of this year to really do an assessment of the year. Like, do inventory in your personal life and inventory in your business life, like with the meetings that you're attending, again, with those connections that you have, with the individuals that you're spending your time with. Are they adding to your life? Are they adding to your goals and your dreams, or are they a distraction, right? And so it's good to have that measure, so that as you begin to work on your goals, as you begin to work on those vision boards for 2024, you can walk in with a clear sight and clear vision of knowing, like, the things that you need to cut, going into the next year, and the things that you need to add to or increase, or continue to do. And, you want to be able to operate in excellence. And so, again, I just encourage you today to follow your dreams, no matter what. Like, you owe it to yourself. You need to be your own accountability partner sometimes. And so, you can do it. You can do it with a plan, and you can do it with direction. And no greater direction than God, than that power that is greater than yourself, who is all-knowing, and who can connect you to divine connections that can help, ease your journey along the way, or lead you to something that you need to read to enlighten you, to provide more insight, on a journey that you're getting ready to go on. Like you never know how the different, pieces of the puzzle may begin to connect themselves together and to merge together, to create the whole picture. So stay encouraged. Again, we're getting ready to close out 2023. Let's do it big, guys, so that we can go into 2024 with a bang. Bye.